Oh my goddess, white people, leave black people alone about this plantation burning to the ground. Leave them alone. You don't get to tell them how to feel about it. You don't get to tell them how to react about it. Stop making videos about how sad it was that it burned down and leave black people alone. Leave them alone. They have every right to feel their very valid feelings about this plantation burning down. Stop. You know what? Take this opportunity to learn something. Shut your mouth, open your ears, and listen to the videos and learn something. Practice a little empathy. God, white people are not okay. We are not okay.
Man, I tell you what, nothing makes racist white people more pissed off than me, a white person, trying to educate about racism and trying to educate about what white privilege is and all these things. And it's so funny because these same people will argue with me till they are blue in the face about how they're not racist and we don't live in a racist institution and black and brown people have it so easy and racism doesn't exist anymore. But then they will turn around and say the most racist, ignorant, vile shit you've ever heard in your life.
Hello guys, I'm hoping that you're doing well wherever you're watching me from. And these are just Americans and white Americans, and they're very rich. They understand what it means, farms no without farmers, and the food situation going high, and they're very hungry with Mr. Donald Trump. I want us to be to watch the videos that I've compiled here for you of these white Americans, and then later on let's gather here. I'm going to be reacting on it, and if this is your first time here, please do subscribe, share our content, and like our content. We're going to greatly appreciate. Let's rock in and make sure that you watch to the very end because I'll be reacting on it. And you get to hear from my perspective. It's out of different perspectives that we learn, unlearn, relearn, and get edified. Remember also that out of your comment, you're also going to learn. Someone else is going to learn. So feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. I'll be right back after this one.
Racism devastates people from the global majority the most. Obviously, let's be really clear about that. But whiteness carries a cost for white people too. And I wish white people could get that into their heads. It shows up in how isolated we often are. In regions like the Northeast and Wales, over 90% of people are white British, and a third of white Britons say they have no friends from a global majority background. I mean, think about what that means. We are cut off from whole worlds of perspective, from different ways of thinking, problem solving, creativity, ideas, joy, humor, you name it. Instead of gaining resilience through difference, we stay small and we stay shallow and we cling to sameness, and I guess we call that normal. Whiteness looks like power, but it's really a cage. It cuts us off from the richness of life itself. Racism dehumanizes people of color, but it also diminishes white people. And anti-racism isn't charity work, remember. It's how we open the door to fuller humanity, connection, and possibility. I mean, it would be great if we did this out of the goodness of our hearts and for the sake of justice. But if that feels like too much to ask, do it for selfish reasons. Do it because your life will be richer, deeper, funnier, and better if you do.
The disconnect is amazing. And this is why I make content like this, because it's so important. Because we do live in a racist institution, and we are all raised in racism as white people. This is simply a fact. And the crazy part about it is every one of us knows this. Even the ones who will sit there and fight with me to the death about it and act like it doesn't exist. Y'all know white people are racist. Y'all know about the casual racism, the casual microaggressions that we are raised in, no matter where we live in this United States of America. And this is why I will never stop. I will never stop trying to educate as a white person about racism and how we need to learn. We need to evolve. We need to do better. It's almost as if they feel like admitting to a racist institution or admitting to racism makes them this evil, terrible person. And so they would rather double down than to grow and be a good person. And that's so bad, because all that says to me is that you have a small mind and a cowardly soul. And I wish better for you than that, truly, because everything in your life will get better when you stop being so ignorant.
So I mentioned how I don't ever want to live around a bunch of white liberals again. And I spent most of my life living in Santa Cruz, California, where there is a lot of white liberals. And I have to tell you, those are some of the most racist people in America. White liberals have tried to silence my voice, have tried to get me fired. White liberals have called me racial slurs multiple times. White liberals think black people are a monolith and are only allowed to act a certain way, vote a certain way. White liberals are working to lower the educational standards for black and brown kids, which is hurting them. White liberals want to have a permanent brown underclass to do all of their hard work, all the jobs they don't want to do. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons why I never want to live in a majority white liberal area again. And don't even get me started on COVID.
I might lose my farm because of the government.
Own the libs! Own the libs! There's so much owning of the libs going on right here.
Our EQIP program, which is cost sharing on fences, waters, a well, and some seedings, was funded by the Inflation Reduction Act.
And who signed the Inflation Reduction Act into law? Was it Joe Biden? Sir, that is socialism. And you are benefiting off of it. Did you post this a few months ago in October?
I'll tell you what I love. I love cows. But if we go with Kamala, you won't have any cows anymore because you're not.
A few moments later.
Our farm payment money, if we don't have that money, we will lose this farm. And the only way that I can think to get around it is we sell some cows. I'm done. I need your help to save my farm and many other farms.
Sir, we already tried to help you save your farm. The saving of the farms happened a few months ago on November 5th. Us on the left, or what is it that you call us, libtards? Us libtards showed up on November 5th and voted so that you could keep benefiting off the Inflation Reduction Act that would have saved your farm. You, Kyle, also showed up on November 5th and voted to preserve something that wasn't your farm. What did you vote to preserve, Kyle? You voted to preserve your white tea supremacy instead of saving your farm. Are you feeling superior right now, Kyle? I want you to get exactly what you voted for, Kyle, and I want you to feel the powerful consequences of your vote.
The fact that the left would protest the ending of crime tells me that their freaking evil is like endless. It's never ending. And he'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, because I read their stupid book. The plan is to take over the institution, right? And if they can't take over the institution, the next best thing, if not equally the same, is to destroy the institution. Why? Because they're stupid. They think people are going to go, Donald Trump said he was going to lower the price of eggs. Oh my God, the price of eggs isn't lowered. That means that we have to vote for Kamala Harris. And what she's going to do is she's going to have two gay dudes suck each other's cocks in front of their egg aisle, while the egg aisle being non-existent because it's a communist grocery store. That's what they expect. They really think that we're that stupid. Seriously. Because I read their book. And the reason why they think that we're that stupid is because their followers are that stupid. They call their followers useful idiots to their face, and they continue to vote for them because they're stupid, right? But they think we're that stupid. They think we're that stupid. They think, the eggs, it's the same price. We're going to vote for the communists now. What the fuck are you going to do about the eggs, jackass? Nothing. Nothing. Because they're stupid like that. And that's why communism will never work. Because at some point in the chain, yes, they could have smart people that could infiltrate shit. But at some point in the chain, they're going to flop because they're dumb.
I just want you all to know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for giving him those chances. I'm sorry. I see things now. I see them clearly. And I think I saw them way too late.
Hey, Auntie Bev here. The woman you just saw in the video clip is identified as Susan Howard. She has a TikTok video, which is about 2 minutes long, and she explains how she feels she was betrayed by the president, and she wants people to show her grace for her error in judgment. Well, the vocabulary word I have for that is delude. It's a verb, and it means to deceive, to trick, to fool, to manipulate someone's judgment. Using it in a sentence, I would say, Susan Howard says the president was able to delude her into believing he was going to do what was best for the country, and that's why she continued to vote for him. And I'm saying Susan Howard was delusional. That's an adjective, and it means faulty judgment. Delude, delusional. Add those 2 words to your vocabulary bank and make it your time, your shine. Auntie Bev speaks.
So right now, the convicted felons' attorneys are arguing that birthright citizenship should be overturned. A constitutional right. Let that sink in. I was on a live last night, and we were talking about what's going on and what the solution is. And I said, it doesn't matter if a Republican or a Democrat is in the White House. Until we address the white patriarchy in this country, we will never progress as a society. And what do I turn on the news this morning? The convicted felon is arguing that birthright citizenship should be overturned. Friends, this is about one thing. It is about one thing only. It's not tariffs. It's not making your life better. It's not improving your life. It's not about helping you. It is about making this America white again. Stop being fooled by the okie doke, by the parlor tricks, the snake oil salesmen. This plantation owner wants one thing: white America. You demonize immigrants. They're grabbing people off the streets and leaving their children with nowhere to go. There was a 3-year-old that just had their parents snatched off the street, and a stranger had to bring that child home. Yeah, it's so pro-life. Abrego Garcia had no due process, sent to El Salvador. People being put in Guantanamo Bay. He put a Muslim ban on there. Questioned the birth of Barack Obama. Very fine people on both sides. Has dinner with Nick Fuentes, a white nationalist. Didn't rent to black people. The Central Park Five. And on and on and on. That's what this is. Make America white again. Pull your heads out of the sand, people. Signing petitions, organizing, that's all great. Getting into groups, talking about it, going to daily protests, that's wonderful. I love it. That's not going to stop what's happening. It's not. You need to shut the damn country down. Period. End of story. I don't want to hear what we can't do. I can't afford to. We can't do this. What about this? We need to organize. Great, then organize. Sign the petition. 2025strike.com. That's it. Organize. You get 3.5% of the population and you stop working and you shut this damn country down, because that's the only way this is going to stop. This plantation owner is going to do lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. What's to stop him from suing you, a private citizen? Because that's the end game here when it comes to lawsuits, right? You can't.
Hello, welcome back again. And I'm watching that video, and what hits first is the shouting. It's the fear hiding under it, and fear gets loud when it feels, threatened. And in America, fear often puts on the mask of certainty. And guys, the anger looks like it's about policies, it's about politics, but it sounds like it's about belonging and who counts, who gets to stay, and who gets to thrive. Those questions, guys, they are old here, or I'd rather say they are old in America. When folks about taking our country back always wonder from whom and to what, because the back they imagine has never been safe for people who look like black people. It has never been the same for people of color. It has always been against these people. So the video keeps repeating one word without saying it: hierarchy. The idea that some people should naturally be on the top, and others should be grateful just to be in that place. And that's the spell of whiteness as a system and not as a skin tone. And guys, I hear talk of mass deportations like it's simple fix. But the hands that harvest food, pour concrete, clean hospitals, and take care of kids who are supposed to go to school, care for children, don't vanish, because families do, neighborhoods do, humanity does. And when labor is treated like disposal tool, none of the two is going to win. Not black, not brown, and not even white person. Only the owners of the tools who win. I think this is something that they should keep on looking at keenly, because it's going to mess up America big time. I recognize the rhythm of scapegoating in that video. Pain, confusion, blame. It's very easy to point out at your neighbor than at the policies and profiteers that keep you struggling. And guys, some of those reminded me of people who you stand with in line at a grocery store. Folks who will smile at you, hold the door for you, and still vote to make your life smaller. And that contradiction is America's favorite magic trick, I will say. Law and order gets invoked like a prayer, but it often means order without justice. If the law doesn't protect, the dignity and equality, then what exactly is it ordering, the people to accept? And the promise of multiracial democracy is not that everyone agrees. It's all about that everyone matters, and that promise keeps getting marked fragile, handled without care, then tossed around by people profiting off the chaos. Some of the rage in that clip feels coached. It is a product now fully packaged, syndicated, and monetized. So if you keep people angry, you can keep them clicking, voting, buying. Why? because they are angry. No, guys, I don't say this from a place of moral distance. I know fear. Black people learn early how to make room for fear and, still move on. But we also learn that fear can't, be your compass to lead you, in circles. It can never guide you. And I think that the white people, they brought this problem. The whites brought this problem and they gotta fix it, man. Because I believe every black stood, for justice. Every black stood, for equality. But this is what they chose for every person. And it's very disheartening. It's very sad. Right now they are crying. I will not laugh at them. Maybe black people will not laugh at them. But I believe that they are the change that they want. Share your thoughts and comments in the comment section so that we can get to hear from your perspective. I've been your presenter, Shadrach, and I do welcome you here. Once again, if this was your first time here, you're very much welcome. Feel at home. Feel at your community here. And do share our content, do like our content, and also if you've not yet subscribed, please do subscribe to our channel. We're going to greatly appreciate. Thank you so much for our returning subscribers. Thank you for always making us stay to the course. Goodbye, my people. I'm hoping to see you in the next video, but until then, keep safe. Support a brother, support a sister. This is the least that we can do for humanity. Goodbye, my people.